Welcome back to Games Revealed. I'm James Nelson Brink, and we are one. Today I want to talk about the Resident Evil 4 remake. And that is because I love this game. Resident Evil 4, I love the OG. I love Resident Evil 4 so much that I've actually beat it more than once, which is not very common for me. There's plenty of games where I have, of course, but Resident Evil 4 is one of those ones I've beat at least 4 or 5 times, which is a lot for me. I love it. I haven't quite beat it as many times as Half-Life. I love Half-Life, and so, but I get kind of close to that. So, before I ramble on any more about how much I love Resident Evil 4, I was ecstatic to hear that there was a remake. Now, in today's world, a remake or a remaster, whatever it is, could be a good thing or a bad thing. You just never know. Luckily, it's coming from Capcom, and they've been slaying it so hard with their remakes lately that I wasn't too concerned. But still, Resident Evil 4 holds up still, doesn't it? Right? Well, let's talk about that in a second. Make sure to like, subscribe, bash that bell with your crowbar. Now, this game, Resident Evil 4, came out when I was a teen. I played it a ton, and then I had a friend who didn't have the GameCube because it originally came out on GameCube. It didn't come out on PS2 for, I believe, another year or two. And so I had it for a GameCube, and I beat it at least once, and then my friend wanted to play. And he played it, and he loved it so much that he stayed overnight a few nights and beat it at least 2 or 3 times on my console in that first week or two. And really, it was he loved it that much and kept on wanting to play it on the GameCube, on my GameCube. And then eventually he got it for his PS2 and proceeded to just, pretty much 100% the thing. He loves this game. This pretty much brought us out of kind of what games were. If you remember the old Resident Evils were like, into what the new Resident Evils are like. That's what Resident Evil 4 did for us. Like, it brought us over the shoulder, third-person action that was with a good story, albeit a little convoluted at times, and it just was a whole package. It was fun. It was horror-based. It had mystery. It had about everything you could possibly have, even a shouting, screaming, annoying sidekick in it, which some people might not find fun. It's the least interesting. Okay, so with that, there's a lot of remakes out. So I was a little worried, but after watching the trailers, I will have to say, I really think they're going to do a lot with this. I think that this is going to be a really good remake. I think it might be their best remake, potentially. Resident Evil 2 remake was amazing, and they did a good job of filling a lot of plot holes, because there are a lot of plot holes. But, and with Resident Evil 4 remake, they're going to be filling some more of those plot holes, which are actually really important. But, I mean, the gameplay still holds up, right? Let me check this out. Okay, we're going to check this out on the Steam Deck real quick. So here's the where we're going to load up the game after I've played about 10 minutes. And it's the iconic typewriter, Gotta love that about Resident Evil. Things are looking good so far. Not looking at, okay. It still doesn't look bad. You got a little bit of the hair movement when you move around. But you got to remember, this is an HD remaster on the PC. The original GameCube doesn't look as good as this, but the HD remaster did okay. I will have to say the original Resident Evil 4 definitely looks much worse on 4K TVs and monitors and stuff like that. But still, this looks pretty good. This is on the Steam Deck, so this isn't even running at a high resolution. Still looks decent though. And moving around seems fine. It's not perfect, but then when you go to combat, you have to, if you want to knife, got to look up and down, and then the right trigger doesn't do it. It's X. X is what does it. X marks the spot for killing enemies. Now let's go ahead and shoot, and we have to use the X button once again. And that is the problem. Let's see if we can, shooting the birds gets you gold and goodies. Yeah, I will have to say the controls are definitely outdated. I definitely say the graphics are good enough to where you can keep on playing. It's not like some game, it doesn't hurt the experience. I wouldn't say it is detrimental. And because there's some games like Fear, I would say, is one of those ones I went back to play, and it felt so dated. It was so hard with some of the characters, models, and all that. This, yes, it's the HD remaster, but you know what? It still looks pretty dang good. But those controls definitely need to be replaced, in my opinion. And so I definitely say, from the control aspect and plot holes alone, that I think we need a remake. I wouldn't, obviously, if you want to keep on playing the original Resident Evil 4, it's there for you to play. It's on PlayStation 3, 4. It's on pretty much everything, I feel like, these days. And so it still looks good on the Steam Deck. It plays great on the Steam Deck. You'd expect it to play well on the Steam Deck. It's not a very demanding game. But with The Last of Us Part 1 being remastered, the differences aren't as stark as they are in Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 4 Remake. You can definitely tell that there is quite a bit of difference in the tech leap, where Last of Us pushed the hardware to the brink on, and then it, of course, has had an HD remake also, I believe. So it goes from PS3 to PS4. I believe it had a remaster, but not a remake. But then you see like the newer items in Last of Us Part 1 with the remake. You don't really, I don't know. We'll see if they don't really have plot holes. They don't have a lot they need to just remake. So it feels like it's just going to be another step up for in the remaster game, where they're going to essentially just redo everything, but still hold really tight to what the story was, and probably not deviate too far. That's from what I've seen. I could be wrong. You can let me know in the comments below. Resident Evil 4 Remake, on the other hand, fills a lot of gaps, like the start of the game and also just some enemies they're going to be redoing. And I got to say, like, I like the direction they're going. I think whoever's directing these games are doing a great job in holding true to the original while adding everything that needs to be added to these remakes. And once again, if you don't like it, you can always go back and play Resident Evil 4, the HD remaster, let's say. You can always go back and play the original on the GameCube. The remake is a nice, fresh breath of air, as long as the time is put into it to really, demand our $60, $70, whatever it is, instead of, what we've had with like Reforged and some other remakes and stuff like that, where even Last of Us Part 1, it looks really good, but in some instances it might not look as good. And does it really warrant, us paying for that game all over again? Once again, I don't know fully. It just all depends on if you want to spend more money. It's your choice, I guess. It's just Resident Evil 4 Remake definitely looks like it's going to be the game I'm going to be buying, and probably continue playing Resident Evil 4 Remake as opposed to the original more. That tends to be how I go with these types of games, like Resident Evil 2, the original on PlayStation. I still pick it up every once in a while, but the remake is just so much more fun, and I have a feeling this will be too. Loving the direction so far. Good job, Capcom. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this. Do you like this direction with Resident Evil 4? Are you just a hardcore fan of the original? Or do you think all these remakes are just garbage? Let me know. Thank you guys for watching. Check out my other videos. And I can't wait for this year of the remakes to set forth and play some Dead Space, Resident Evil. I mean, it's going to be more than this year. It's going to take a year or two for these to come out. But the remakes that I want are coming out. Let them come out. Thank you guys. Peace out. Later.